This week we're going to be checking out our Split Flow Aquaponics System. This tour of my basic Split Flow Aquaponics System is just to help you folks get your head around the idea and how they're laid out. But I've gone on to include a soil-based dual root zone bed in our system here. And I've posted videos on a few other systems that include other growing techniques like the nutrient film, the deep water culture, sand beds, and I'll include links to those videos at the end of this presentation. I'm just showing you this one here as it's a basic one. There's a bit of an overview of our system. We have a fish tank, we have a solids capturing device, a moving bed biofilm reactor, another little filter down in there, sump tank, and 3 grow beds. There's another one over the back there. Now, the way I have this system plumbed up is what I like to call split flow, meaning that the little pump down in there splits the flow between the 2 sides. We have the aquaculture side, which is the fish, and then we have the hydroponic side, which are the 3 grow beds there. So because it's called split flow, because that's how the water flows, I thought we'd start with the pump down here in the sump tank. This is pretty much all the equivalent to the heart. It moves all the lifeblood of the system, the nutrient-rich water, around. It might be a little bit hard to see down there, so I'll turn the light on. You might be able to make it out just down in there. I have a fairly large pump that has an adjustable flow rate controller, and I think I have it plumbed up around about 10,000 litres an hour at the moment. So the pump brings water up this hose work here, and this is where the system gets its name. This is the split. We have one line going straight behind me here to the fish tank, and the other one tees off here to go to the grow beds. We have one line there that services the grow bed above the sump and the one next to me. And this other piece of hose work splitting off there comes around, if I can get the camera to move properly this time, to service this grow bed over here. Now, the way these beds are set up, they have a reinforced hose work that comes to this corner here. I've had some of this hose work for over 8 years. It's ribbed, so it won't kink, and it seems to be fairly UV stable. Can't say that all brands will be, but it's worked really well for me. And I just have a couple of elbows up the top here, bringing the water in at a bit of an angle. And I have a valve to control the flow rate so I can decrease it or increase it, and that helps me tune my siphon. With my beds, I like to treat them as an ebb and flow or flood and drain. So we have water entering at one side, and at the further side, hopefully closer to the sump tank if you can make it out, we have a drain system. And to activate that drain system, I like to use a bell siphon. So actually this one here is just about to break. We have water coming up inside a bell, going down a standpipe, and that's what initiates the flooding and draining of the system. Those bubbles you can see coming up are air being forced under the lip of the bell, and what will happen, there we go, it will break the siphon, so that allows the water to enter back in that corner again and slowly flood the bed until it needs to drain out. Now, I didn't set that up, that was just a very lucky happenstance. Now, as I said, there is drain work under the bed here. I have a smaller diameter pipe going into a larger one on a bit of an angle down into the sump tank, and that is pretty much how all 3 of these beds are set up. And once it's down in here again, the water mingles with the other water coming from the fish tank and is split yet again, some to the fish and some back out to the grow bed. And these grow beds, by the way, if you're not familiar with how aquaponics works, the media in these beds forms a couple of different functions. It can act as a solids filter in some cases, even though I do have a solids separator on our system, this little jobby here that we'll look at in a minute. Some small particles do make it through, plus you get all the leftover organic matter from the plants in the bed. They do collect a little bit of solids over time, but their main function is to provide biological surface area for the bacteria. And those bacteria, what they do is they convert the ammonia, which in some forms is toxic to the fish, all the way through to plant available nitrates, and the plants then take them up and then convert it to what they need again to become nice and lush and green. I just wanted to let you folks know that I do have that Backyard Aquaponics Beginner's Guide available. It is an online video-based guide, $19.95 US, link down in the description. I'm constantly adding bits and pieces, and when we get a new system, I'll be doing complete build videos that will be added to the guide. But anyway, it's for sale again for you folks who have been waiting. $19.95, link below. That's enough trying to pay the bills. Now we'll keep going with the system. That's pretty much all it for the grow bed side of things. We'll follow the water now through to the fish. So we come up through this line here. I always like to put fittings in my hose work and pipe work so I can undo them to service them if there's ever any issues. And if you want to learn more about plumbing fittings used in aquaponics, you can check out this video here. It gives you a bit of a rundown of all the fittings that I use through my systems and a number of hacks and tips that'll get you on your way. From there we have a valve that regulates the flow up into the fish. Now my inlet for the fish is pretty basic. I just have a pipe coming in there at the moment. In the past I've used Venturis and whatnot. I've just decided to go with this method for the time being here. When we've set up future aquaponics systems, I'll be installing Venturis again, just to give you folks a bit of a gander at that. We'll move around the other side. Now in the tank, might be a bit hard to see, a little bit overcast here today, but we have some fish. It's also a little bit cold, so I don't know if they're going to come up to feed. One or two might. And as you can see, we do have a lot of air entering into the fish tank there. I have a compressor that's providing oxygen in this case to the fish in the system here, and over here in the moving bed biofilm reactor it's providing oxygen as well as movement to the bacteria that are doing the ammonia conversion. So that water enters the far corner over there, basically forcing water up this center pipe, which is called a solids lifting outlet. That water then travels out full of the gunk and muck that is collected on the base, as well as the nutrient rich water, and that comes down out through a couple of sweeping bends that I have to make up because we don't have sweeping bends available in this size in Australia, down to a settler. Now I like to include a valve between my fish tank and my radial flow settler, because when it comes time to cleaning, that means I don't have to wait for the water volume in there to drop below that line. Before I can clean, I can just turn the valve, turn it off, and I have isolated this from the system. So the radial flow settler is basically a large container with a smaller stilling well in the center. The pipe work does a U-turn, comes up through the center there, and all the solids rich water flows out of that pipe and then has to go back down that stilling well. As those solids come out of the base of the stilling well, the water velocity basically slows because it's moving into a larger volume, and all those solids precipitate out, fall onto the base of the solid settler, where I can then draw them out. I use a pump on mine because it creates a nice bit of suction, gets all the muck off the bottom without having to use a lot of water, and that muck there is now going over into our mineralization tank. Now what we have here is basically a drum, and it is full of bubbling fish waste. It's all the solids that are taken out from the radial flow settler. They are pumped into this, and you can see it's bubbling away nicely. There is actually a series of air stones down the bottom, and they've been altered slightly because they had some air issues. They were basically clogging up and not providing much oxygenation whatsoever. So I pulled one of the stones off and she looks to be bubbling very well now. Now the reason it is bubbling is because we need to provide the bacteria in there with oxygen and also a carbon source, which I'll cover in a minute, so they can break down the organic matter to make the elements available for the plants to take up. And now the way it works is 2 to 3 hours before I clean out the radial flow settler, I turn the air pump off, all the solids, or the bulk of them, settle out towards the bottom, and then I can decant off just under half the barrel worth of nutrient-rich water, pop that back into the aquaponic grow bed so the plants can make use of those elements. And to fill it back up, all we do is hook a hose on the pump connected to the radial flow settler, and that brings the solids-rich water over here to the mineralization drum. Chuck in a small amount of carbon-rich feed for the bacteria, and that helps provide energy to the bacteria so they can convert the solids. And then it just bubbles away again until the next time I need to clean the radial flow settler, and we repeat the process. Now back to the water flow here. The water, clean water, rises up the outside of that stilling well and then leads through a little bit of pipe work here. In most split flow systems that I've seen, it would pretty much all just fall back into the sump tank. A few small solids in there, ammonia rich water where it would be split, and some of that would go back to your fish, which is something I'm not too happy about. So what I've decided to do is add in a moving bed biofilm reactor. It's basically a tub with some biomedia in there. This is something that's used in the wastewater industry. Exactly the same as the media in the grow bed, provides biological surface area for the bacteria to create colonies on, and they transform the ammonia all the way through to nitrates. That's not really a huge issue for the plants. They can handle ammonia, but it's the fish. It's all about keeping the fish safe and healthy, so that's why I like to include it here. So the water comes in, splashes over the top. I have another little lifting pipe down the bottom there, and that water then comes out into one final little bit of filtration. It's basically shade cloth in a drum with holes in it with a floor scrubbing mat over the top, just to collect those fine solids. Now we have the water back into the sump tank. Once again, the same as with the grow bed water, it just mingles in there and then is taken up the hose and split. One section out to the hydroponic side and one section out to the aquaculture side. Just quickly, you might notice there's another little bit of extra pipe work here. That aids me in cleaning out my radial flow settler. Basically, I get to reduce over half the volume of water back into the system before I take off the muddy bit down the bottom, which is basically full of fish waste. I've seen other people, and they to clean that out, they give it a good stir and then they dump a whole filter's worth of water. I really don't want to lose that much water. I'd rather leave it in the system. So that's why I like to just draw it off and use a little bridge siphon to lower the level in there as far as I can. Don't forget, there is that link down in the description if you want to see other ways that aquaponics can be set up. I mean, there's more variations on the split flow than just this one here. As mentioned at the start, there are a few other ways to plumb up your system. I've included the wicking or dual root zone bed to Owens to grow ginger and potatoes in soils. There's also systems that include sand beds as solids and biological filtration, and I'll leave a couple of links to both Steve's and Owens systems that incorporate more growing methods than just these media beds down below. So check them out if you're interested in learning other ways that you could set up your system. I will pretty much leave it there though. I do hope you folks are all well and happy and that your aquaponics is booming, and I'll catch you next video. Cheers folks, have a top one.